till you go numb. No fighting, no hating, no red wrong. This is OOO City. All the way to the bay, hit the base, feel me. Catch a case, cause it's beating up your Chevy. Get you moving side to side, getting all sweaty. Make it work it out. Turn the volume up loud. This a draw crowd, make it all shout. Go crazy. All the way from the O to LA. Hit play on the track and I'm ready. Like a quarterback, Tom Brady. Get you all in the frenzy. Go crazy. Go crazy. Go crazy. All the way from the O to LA. Go crazy. Go crazy. Go crazy. All the way from the O to LA.
The love us. We heard the buzz and turned the club up. They tear the rugs as soon as we turn the subs up. Everybody hands high like a drug bust. Yeah, I'm from the West, homie. Don't you see the dubs up? Baptize him on the spot, fill the tubs up. Now fraternize with the flock, tell them fill the cups up. The show though, original, the type is proto. I go, crazy, yeah, loco, and solo. The coach and note I represent the Ocho. Immersing together, we put the devil in the chokehold. Either I leave him on the mat flat out, I squeeze it till he black out, or when they see him tap out, they go crazy. Go crazy. Go crazy. Go crazy. All the way from the O to LA. Go crazy. Go crazy. Go crazy. All the way from the O to LA. Go crazy. Go crazy. Oh, city all the way from the O to LA. Go crazy. Go crazy. All the way from the O to LA.
What's going on? What's going on? It is 8:04, which means we are right on time for the Scoop Show on this fine, hey girl, on this fine Tuesday evening. We are so glad that you took a few minutes to go and get comfy with us, grab all of your things, and click on in to the Scoop this evening and join us for this good old conversation. We have got a great show in store for you. Me and Wynn have been talking about it, chit-chatting about it for the last couple of days, so I know we're excited to bring this content to you. If you are new around these parts, I want to go ahead and make sure that you are fully tapped in, and because we know you're going to enjoy yourself. So like before you get all caught up in the rapture of what this here situation is about to be, I want to give you all the details so you never miss another show, and that you could become a part of the Scoop Tribe. Okay, so we are out here in these internet streets, and we invite you to join us. Okay, because we outside, but we also out here. Okay, so we want you to join us on all of the social media outlets, and you can do that by following us on YouTube at The Scoop Show, on Facebook at Real Scoop Show, and on Instagram at Scoop Radio Show. Okay, so be sure and click in, hit the bells, hit the whistles, hit the thumbs, hit the notifications, all your settings, get it right so that you never miss a show. Okay, we also got that good replay. This isn't a one and done. Okay, you know how some folks like to delete the lives, they move around. Once you miss it, you just miss it, and it's not the same. No, the replay is here for your convenience. Okay, it is here, and you can interact with us still. We got time. Okay, you comment, we show up. Okay, you will still get to interact with us. We are here for you. Okay, so be sure and make sure you are following us. You join the conversation. The comment section stays open, and we are looking forward to chatting with you. I think that's it. I've done enough yapping to myself. How's my bro doing? How you doing, Wynn?
I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good. Good day. About to be a super busy rest of the week, but it's all good. So
I was tired just listening to
it. Listen, this is why they pay us the big bucks, right? Mm-hmm. So yeah, I'm excited, but yeah, I'm glad to be here. Because we got some real good topics tonight, and then of course we have Firestarters here tonight, so I'm pretty hyped about tonight's show. So,
yeah.
How you doing?
I'm good. Today was a good day. This has been a pretty productive week, I must say. My to-do lists look real done. So it's been a good couple of days. I've been knocking it out. So yeah.
That's
excited for tonight's show.
That's what's up. Yeah. We got some good stuff, of course, and like you said, we want to make sure everybody knows to come and put their comments in and tell us what they think, because it's a lot. Yeah,
we got a good mix tonight, so we need all of the people to show up, not just the men and not just the ladies tonight. We need it's all hands on deck. We all out here together.
So, I'm like, whoo, okay,
yeah,
all right. Yeah, after you put the agenda together, you like, whew, okay, I'm about to take a nap before this one. Yeah. Are you ready to go? You ready
Let's
to
go.
jump in?
Let's do it.
Let's go. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into these hot topics. This first one, hope y'all ready for this one. Here we go. So the first one says men are really the prize because at the end of the day, he's going to be with the woman he wants. Women are going to be with the man that's available. I'm ready again. Men are really the prize because at the end of the day, he's going to be with the woman he wants. Women are going to be with the man that's available. Ladies, gentlemen, what are your thoughts?
I don't think I agree with that. I don't, not in this day. I don't think that's still accurate. Women are choosing, obviously, because we have this huge conversation about, do we get to propose and all of that? But I think both sexes really run the risk of rejection out here. Everyone has taken on the power of choosing. Like, you get to marry who you want to marry. You know what I mean? Like, nobody's forcing anybody to get married or do anything like that. So I don't really see men as the prize, so to speak. There are more of us. So like if you look at a numbers game, there are more women than there are men. So availability, I guess there's some truth, some accuracy in that as far as availability of you, because it's just basic numbers, just men as being the bare basic level of qualification, we're already outnumbered. So then if you have any type of standard or preference, you're whittling at that number. So in this instance, I guess there is some truth to it. I just think the energy behind it is funky. So I don't really like it for what it feels like. How it settled to me. I was like, I don't like it. Okay. I mean, when you start to think it through, I guess I can see it only from a logical numbers perspective. Outside of that, you missed me. You completely lost me outside of that.
So I can get with, first of all, y'all drop y'all comments. Come on, I see.
Yes, please.
Yeah, y'all drop your comments on this one. So let me say this. I agree with you that the energy behind this is right. So for the record, I don't like this whole women are the prize, men are the prize. I don't like it.
Yeah.
I think that if you don't think that you're a prize, then that's a whole nother problem, whether you're a man or a woman. Now, in the context of marriage, I think that we all pick who we want and who is available. So I think that as a man, I was having this conversation with my guys earlier today, and I said that there's a certain kind of man that has more access to more women. So I think in the hierarchy of men, I use myself. Actually, what I said was I think that I'm the type of man who, because of the way I'm positioned in life, has access to a wide range of women.
Which is true. Very accurate.
That's an accurate statement. So, but I also recognize that there is also still a select group of women who don't want to date me, who wouldn't want to be with me. Mm-hmm. So I do think that as a man, I am a prize, but I'm not going to be with somebody, and I'm going to be with somebody who I believe is a prize. I also think the person who chooses to be with me will be not with me just because I'm available, but
Right.
because they also see value in me. So I don't necessarily love the energy behind this, but I do get from a numbers perspective what this is trying to say. I just don't think that I do think that also as a man, as a woman, you have less options to you the later you get in life, simply because the number of men, and two, because the older men get, in most instances, the less we are to wanting to get married. Now, to your point, I think what's happening now, not happened, is that women are now becoming more comfortable with being single. And that's the game changer there.
Yep.
Because
Because it was always an expectation that there'd be somebody for you whenever you got through doing what you were doing. Yeah, because they want marriage.
Yeah, and so I think now that if more women get to that point where it's like we don't need marriage, then we're in trouble. Yeah. I'll be honest, I just don't see that happening. But
I also didn't like the way that last sentence was worded with available. Like, how do you choose someone that's unavailable? Like, that was a way of saying settle, but like, just say settle. Call it what it is, if that's what you're going to call it. Because you can't choose someone who's unavailable to you.
True. Now, I do think that women are more likely to pick somebody who doesn't meet certain criteria if he has other criteria. Yeah. I think y'all are more flexible than that than us. I think that women, for example, if a man has money, will date a man that will be with a man that they don't find as attractive. I don't think men do that. I don't think that men are like, ooh, I think she's ugly.
No,
but she's got a lot of money. Like, I don't think by and large men do that. I think women will do that more. Y'all will do that more than us. So, but I also said I don't think we do that whole peace thing either. So,
right. I think it depends on the things that you're comparing. It really depends on the things that you're comparing, how accurate that is as far as what we're willing to bend on. There are certain things that women have an understanding that or sometimes it's a preference that we're going to just do that thing. I don't want a man doing certain things. You know what I mean? Like, there are certain women who will say, I don't want him doing that. Like, no, you know what I mean? Like, I'm good. I'll handle that. And he don't have to have those things because I like to do those things. And vice versa. Because like, there are some men that, like, for you, cooking is a thing for you. You're not about to bend on cooking. You know what I mean? But for someone who that might not be that big a deal for them. But on the flip side, there could be something that you're wiggling on and are happy with it. And they're like, nah, I ain't going to be able to do that.
Exactly. Yeah. Which is where I think the whole, like you said, her whole available equaling settling comes across as weird. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I again, I'm down for when the whole prize thing of us eliminating the women are the prize and men aren't thing. I don't like that. No, I think we all prizes. We're all prizes. We all have value. But if you don't think you have value or a prize, for $100 an hour, I can help you.
That's your OnlyFans right there. You were talking about how to come up with OnlyFans. There you go. Because there is a fetish for that. There are people out here who,
you know what, that might work. I might have to give you 10% of my first year for that.
You know my Cash App. Actually, hold that. I'm playing a long game. You go hold that. Go on, cycle that back. Go on, let's keep that black dollar going for a little bit. Yeah, I ain't going nowhere. I know where you at. Go give me when you can get me. Get me.
So reinvest it back into.
Bless me real good, okay? Make that intellectual property stretch real good.
Say get you when I get that when I get that jet, huh?
Yeah, that good money. I ain't going nowhere. I'm riding with you, you guys.
Say I was with you in.
Okay. I'll tell you, got the book, go release the OnlyFans. Just keep me in the acknowledgement that I'm good out here. Okay, I'm good out here. Yep, today when I see that hashtag, go on and tag me in there. Yep, I'm gonna need that too. Pop Socket Pimpin', that's me. I'm gonna need that.
I think both need to be seen as the prize. I want to feel like I won, so I got the prize. He wants to feel like he won, so I'm the prize.
Yep.
Anything else? Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely. Whew, all right, let's keep it moving. What's this next one? Oh, yeah. Let's see.
Yeah. I just felt like I needed to add one to that.
All right. Former Death Row singer Danny Boy stated that Mary J. Blige raped him. He was 50 when he was then 15, 16 years old. Mary was 24. Many women came out calling him a liar. They created memes and videos trying to debunk his allegations, even making jokes about it, saying he should have not waited this long to speak out. Just because Danny came out as gay in 2016 doesn't make his claims false. Because he is a man, women are quick to call him a liar. But if the roles were reversed, y'all would want him locked up. Mary doesn't get a pass. If she did this, she deserves to be jailed. Men deserve the same energy as women who make rape claims.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know nothing about this, so I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, I didn't either. And I said that on the post. Like, I'm not familiar with this story at all, which I think only gives more padding to the point of this story. Like, we don't talk about these. They don't get the noise that women get when these types of allegations are made. To answer the basic question to this, because, you know, there's so many layers to this, but to answer the very basic of this, I completely agree. If a man makes allegations towards a woman for sexual assault, rape, whatever the name is you want to attach to it, you did it and I didn't want you to, a non-consensual sexual act is done to him, he should get the same full extent of the law, hard press, the shaming, the this, that, and the third that we do for the men. I've said that for a long time. I feel the same way about women who do fake allegations against men and it comes out that they're not, you know, they ruin these men's lives on some BS, you know, all of that, all of those things should be prosecuted fully. You know what I mean? And women can be some of the most sadistic humans on the face of this planet.
Absolutely.
Let's just be honest about it, okay?
Absolutely.
Many times we've had discussions discussing how the women back in history were more brutal, not just in slave times, but in just all times, period. Can be more brutal, more hardcore than men. So just because they're bigger does not, you know, men are bigger does not make them necessarily weaker. And yeah, so for that, I say I completely agree.
Yeah,
I can say that it was evident even on the post, though, why this is such a hard conversation to have. There were some even men stating men can't be raped. Like, this is crazy. What 16-year-old boy is going to be with Mary J. Blige and be like, no, you know what I mean? Like, so it's hard. It's hard to have this conversation realistically because we can lay down all the laws and all the shoulda, coulda, wouldas and what in a beautiful world it should look like. But that's not accurate, even amongst that group of people. Men don't allow men the space to be protected.
No, we don't think that we need to be protected in that. We think that our physical strength means that we are emotionally mature enough to know what to do in that scenario. I mean, because
and it's just flat out not true. It's just not true.
If this is true, and at 24, she was messing with the 16-year-old, then absolutely she should be held liable. But we think that because at 16 you are supposedly old enough to know not to do this, or to say no to this, or to get her off of you, which is dumb because at 16 your hormones of a child, you're a child. And you all over the place. You really don't know what you're doing. So
no, but even deeper than that, when like the setup for this conversation, and as a woman, it always blows my mind because not every boy is super sexualized that way. Like, and not every boy is just racing out to go find a chick to hump on. But it's
Absolutely.
funny when we have not funny. Funny is I'm saying that like funny. When we have these conversations, and it's always set up like no boy would ever turn that down. No boy would ever. You know what I mean? So
I'm
if
saying
you
that
hear,
even, yeah, no, I agree with you. I'm saying that even at that age, like you're in the space of your life where you don't even really like, you shouldn't be able to really have that ability to know. Like we're 16.
Yeah.
We don't.
So the
kids.
whole push them off of them. You young boys wrestle with the same fears that young girls do, but in a different direction.
Yeah.
In a very different direction. You know what I'm saying? We fear like safety, our bodies, our protection, and yes, what it does mentally, but then boys fear what that's going to do to your reputation, to your pride, to your ego, what they gonna think about me if they find out I didn't do it and they go back, you know what I mean? Like so, and all of these things are damaging. All of these things are damaging.
And in the world, from my understanding, also because JB put on the post that I guess this happened in settings where they were in the studio.
Yeah.
And they're in the studio with other hip hop artists and things like that. To me, that makes it even worse because
not just any hip hop artist. Suge Knight. This was in the age of Death Row. You remember when Danny Boy was out? I ain't mad at you. That time frame, like around in like that whole era, like
is that him on that song?
I think so. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong, but he was around that time. Like he was one of them on the ad libs. He did the hooks and the choruses of all the gangster songs. He was in that crew. He was one of them, I believe.
I don't know that. I know Tupac, but I don't know that.
Well, you know the time, and you know Suge. So,
I mean, Suge, Dre, I got all that.
Yeah, you didn't want to be in the room with them and say no to nothing. Not a chick, not a line, not a puff, not a nothing.
Hyper masculinity. I mean, you might get beat up. Which is, and I didn't even read the whole thing where he said he came out as gay. So I got questions. Like I want to know, how did this play into that? Where, I would love to figure out like where was he at that time? Was that something he was battling with then? I got questions now. Yes. So, I mean,
because there's too many women who have been hiding under the woman would never umbrella. And stop it.
Absolutely. All right, here we go. Oh, hold on. She says he may have been 15 or 16. It was a bunch of victim blaming. Absolutely. Jasmine says agreed. Women definitely should be held accountable. Absolutely. Shanae. He said he kept scooting away from her and she pushed the issue. Ooh. All right. Yeah.
And Mary ain't no soft chick. Like Mary ain't a soft chick. So if she wanted it, like, can you imagine? Like just being real. Like if that is the type of woman that she is, because I believe also on the post, some of the fellas, I guess, who have watched, there's a documentary where he spoke out and some other artists spoke out, or just telling about the times back then. And they were given some more background information to it. And they were like, Mary has been called out in some different circles for not being, she's more like the character, the mama character that she plays in Power, the Power recast or whatever, she the drug lord mama, whatever. They say she fits that on a personal level way more than she does whatever persona we might have of her. But honestly, I never had a soft persona of Mary J. Blige. I thought they just gave sis lines in Power. Like that's all it is, because she's playing herself. They just gave her script. I could believe it. That's all I'm saying. I could believe it. So that had to be intimidating. 16, this woman, all these people around, the expectation.
Yeah. And not, like you said, and not just all these people. You talking Tupac, you talking Suge Knight, you talking Snoop, you talking, all of those, all of that group of people, Warren G. You got all of that in a room with you, and you like, I don't want to do this, but I know I can't say this.
Jasmine, very good point.
Yeah.
We forgot all about the drug problem. All about that. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. That's true.
I can't.
That's true.
Thank you. Oh, I just gotta look there. Just look there.
Definitely playing myself.
Thank you.
Okay,
She just brought me this beautiful plate of nachos. I can't eat, so it's just gonna sit here smelling good, and I can't do nothing.
You better put them in. You better eat them nachos in front of us too. You know I will. I'll be out here eating them.
Listen, y'all, my daughters can throw down on some nachos. Okay, I've officially wiped that off the Mama Has to Cook list. They get down through there with some nachos. So I'm gonna be over here tempted. I ain't lusting over this. If I do this in a minute,
we got passion talk here in a few minutes, so we know what you're gonna be doing when that comes.
Hurry up, take me off the screen. Hey y'all, hey sis. Anyway, come on, so we can get through
right.
this.
Right, Shamar, supposed to eat them nachos. I done set up here, ate a whole thing of wings before. Like, yep.
Y'all know I talk too much to be eating and talking at the same time. Ain't no way. I'm not thoughtful enough for that. If I was sitting here and thought more often, then maybe. But
between me and some food, that's not good. Especially I'm hungry. All right. Oh God. Oh, this is interesting. Another heavy one. All right. If you praise a woman who aborted her child because, quote, she did what was best for herself, then I hope you praise men for abandoning their children because they did what was best for themselves. Read again. If you praise a woman who aborted her child because, quote, she did what was best for herself, then I hope you praise men for abandoning their children because they did what was best for themselves.
this was stupid. This was stupid as hell to me. This is not the same. We just comparing any old damn thing. Like, just, what are you doing? What are you doing? No. First of all, I don't think people praise women for having abortions. That's not what people do. People do not praise women for having abortions. People support women's choices when they make them. They support them having the opportunity to choose. So that no one is saying, yes, sis, get that, yeah. Like, that's not how that goes, okay? So let's just get that understood first. And when you make that choice stops there. There's no more, there's nothing else that's been affected. Nobody else is affected. No more lives are being brought into the world. None of that. Choice made, boom, done. If baby is born, now there's another life involved. If you choose to abandon said life because it no longer serves you, emphasis on no longer serves you, and now that's what's best for you, then I'm not praising you either. Like, nobody's praising that. Like, that's not the same thing. That's trash. That's trash. You have not made a choice for a better decision for yourself. The only time that I could see this where a man says, nah, I'm good, after the child has been brought into the world is if he said from the go, I am not here for this. I do not want a child. I'm not at all interested in having a child. If you have this child, this is going to be your child. I'll sign my rights away. I'll do my thing, whatever, but this is your baby. If sis still decides to have said child, you need to understand that's your child. The same way a couple weeks ago we had that post up talking about when the dude was like, the woman had the baby and she just left me and I don't know what to do with it. I can't believe she just left me and I'm out here and the judge said he ain't gonna help me no more. She said, if I have this baby for you, this is your child. I'm gonna give you all this. Here you go. She did the courtesy of doing the whole child support thing, which is dope. But again, she's supporting the child. You know what I mean? If that was still a choice that she made, she paid double. But no, I'm not praising you for having a whole child in the world and then choosing, this ain't best for me and you're going to roll on. No, it's not the same thing. Stupid ass comparison. I'm sorry. I'm not here for it. I'm not here for it. I'm not. Carry on. I might eat a nacho now. Now I might need a nacho. Stupid shit.
So I said on the post, this is one of those, I said, like, we just be making stuff up. Like, to me, this is dumb. And to me, y'all, let me just be, there's no reason for me as a man, why you make this decision. Period. As a man, I'm not going to deal with the woman choosing abortion, because that's out of the realm of my. But I will say, only thing I'll say about that is, if you've ever had a conversation with a woman who has had an abortion, then you know this is not something that's a decision that's ever easily made. And if in the moment it is easily made, there are very few instances that I've ever seen where it's not something that they carry with them. So, like, I think I have a different level or a different perspective of the weight that a person carries when they make this decision. With that being said, as a man, if you don't want a child, then, sir, wrap it up. Period. Mm-hmm. Period. That's all I got. Yeah.
It's so funny how why do we keep trying to twist these terrible situations to make them okay? Like, why are we making it okay to be trash?
You know what? I think that my honest opinion is that I think that we are trying. Again, like I said in the post, we keep trying to act as though we live in a society where there is no difference between men and women. Like, you know what I mean? Like, in most instances, it's not going to be the same. Like,
I remember your comment.
You and how my experience in the world is just not the same.
Yep. And
so to continue to make these comparisons, like equal comparisons like this, does not make sense. Even and there are some that there should be certain that it should be equal, like the last one. But by and large, how men and women experience the world and culture are so vastly different that it's just not going to be.
Yep.
It's not the same.
And this has been this has been my thoughts on equality, the whole equality conversation, as long as we've been doing this show, probably before we started doing this show. The whole idea of equality has been misconstrued among us. You know what I mean? We have taken this ish too far, to the point where now it's hard for us to even, us being the collective, whoever is fussing about being equal, it's hard for us to even have the conversation, because what started in certain spaces, specifically workplaces, where everyone was doing the same type of work and expecting the same type, we're being held to the same standards. It didn't matter about men or women until you were getting paid. This was a wage conversation. This was a compensation type of conversation that has then been piggybacked and spiraled into other things. Some of them appropriate, others not so much. But we've knocked common sense completely out of the conversation as far as what's already happening, as opposed to in comparison to where we want to be. We live in a society that is dead set on what is already happening. Change takes time. Change takes struggle. Change takes some chaos and some crazy that happens first. So you still have to be able to thrive in a society that is shifting. We have hard stop at even having the conversation. So there's no more change really happening. We're doing too much arguing back and forth now, because we don't even know what it is that we're arguing about. We're using equality as a stone that we throw back and forth at each other. Oh, y'all remember? Y'all said you wanted equal, remember? Oh, so now you get to be treated just as bad as us. Instead of us coming together and say, you know what? It's pretty trash that this is happening to this person or this group of people. If I was doing this work and if it was happening to us, I wouldn't like that. How about we equally come up with a solution to the stuff that we don't like, and we come together and say, hey, we don't like this.
Yeah.
Let's fix this to the people who are doing it to the we. Like, I don't understand why we got so stopped in this. My struggle is worse than your struggle. You got to struggle like I got to struggle. And we're arguing about our struggle. Like,
I'm just saying, who can struggle the most? I think the problem
more than the other. Like, what?
But I think even in that, we still have to make room for the fact that my experience as a man
is different.
It's different from your experience as one. And I should not, and that's not a bad thing. Like, it's not a bad thing. let's use the work compensation, the work thing as an example. I mean, there are going to be differences in how you experience work and because I don't have the ability to have a child. Mm-hmm. So to say it's wrong for me to not get the same, 12 weeks off of work after I have a child, because it's different. Like my body doesn't have to heal. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I could use more than a week, but to help my spouse. But to say that I need 12 weeks just like you do, to me does not make any sense to me, because I don't have a body that needs to heal. I don't have bonding that I'm doing with the child in the same way that you would do as a new mother. So I think we still have to make some nuances to say, okay, I might not need the same as you.
But that is something that you, as an individual father, as an individual man, has the opportunity to decide for yourself. But having the opportunity to have the 12 weeks available, if you needed to take them, what if your wife had a terrible pregnancy and she's going to be down and she needs assistance? So there are other reasons why that 12 weeks is necessary. The equality conversation, I think, is more about having the opportunity. And I went off on a tangent earlier, but you were absolutely right. How we experience things is different, but how we discuss them also needs to be that way. Like the way that we experience things, we can't compartmentalize them to the point, because like we'll use our differences to be our reasons for why things don't work, or why, when it serves us. And then when we have these types of discussions, well, why can't we be, why can't it be equal? Because it just isn't. We're out here experiencing things differently. And my point earlier that I was saying about how society is already set up in a certain way is a reason for that. Like, we're still experiencing it different, no matter how big and beautiful our fairy tale is of what this equality thing looks like. So whenever we get to the equality table, we've already brought these differences of experiences to that space. So yeah, you're right. It's never going to be flat out equal. We've got to be able to create an opportunity that everyone can access. I think that's what equality really should be. We should be able to all have access to the same opportunities.
That's it right there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. We're going to get you in the pulpit one of these days. Anyway.
Stop it. We might, because I told you need a building fund. I might come preach at your church. I might be okay at your church.
I don't know if I'm going to be okay at my own church if I keep doing stupid stuff like that.
I know. Your church is going to be all right. We're going to be all right, okay? Woo. I might show back up if Pastor Burns get the bread. You might see me darken that door, as my mama say. I just might darken that door, okay? If my bro walks on up.
I still can't believe I did that. Oh.
No pressure though, no pressure. My salvation is not relying on you opening some doors for me. No pressure.
So listen, y'all know, let me tell y'all, y'all know
Tamika gonna be there with me. We're gonna have our hats and everything, bro. We will be there, okay? Yes,
so a couple of weeks ago, y'all know Paulette has the shirt that says get your knees dirty. So I had to preach at a church a couple of weeks ago, and I wore the shirt to preach, and I didn't realize. I'm like, the lady was like, let me explain to them about your shirt. It said, get your knees dirty. And Paulette told me it was about prayer. So I wore the shirt, and I didn't realize till the next day that people took the shirt the wrong way. So I'm up there standing in the pulpit preaching with my shirt that says, get your knees dirty. And she had to explain to everybody in the audience why I wore this shirt. I was like, my bad. So I had to text like, y'all, I'm sorry. I didn't realize that my shirt could mean that. I said, they're not gonna have me back ever. Anyway, y'all pray for me.
Oh baby. Y'all, we're gonna have to open up the Scoop Building Fund. That's the way it's going. Our next community service event is gonna be I'm in there. I will tithe regularly, okay? But I think that's the only way it's gonna happen. Because when the word get out that your tea collection includes
get your knees dirty.
You never know what he's gonna do. You never know. Child. And he looked at me when he told me this before we went on the show. I looked at him like, he really didn't get it. He was like, Q, I didn't even think about it. Oh, baby.
I wasn't even thinking about it like that. Oh, God. All right. Anyway, let's elevate our men. Whew. You live with your mom? No problem. Move in with me. You don't have a car? No worries. You can drive mine. You have bad credit? No issue, baby. Put that credit card in my name and we'll work on paying the bill together because you are a king.
Let me just react to these comments. I need to catch up on interacting with our y'all showing out of these comments this evening. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Elevate your king.
No,
No, we're not elevating.
this sounds silly as hell. This is silly as hell post night. This is what this is. No, that sounds like you got a child. I got a son already. I'm not doing all that for no man. I'm not doing all that.
Elevate the kings.
You are a pauper, sir. You are not a king. You are a pauper at this point. With all of that line, she done line itemed the basic starter kit. Like you were behind the eight ball. Adrian is more prepared for adulthood than homeboy is. No, I will not. No. I will not celebrate that. I will not share that. I will not co-sign that. I want to smack her. I want to put her in Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, wherever she posted that stupid ish. That's where she needs to be in jail. Jail her. Deactivate her. Somebody hack her. Somebody send her a link.
I want to know what her credit score is what I want to know. I just want to know what her credit score is because I know it's probably a line of dudes like, yes,
Jasmine, I'll go get a puppy. Thanks. Yes. Have a companion for life, an unwavering, loyal companion for life.
Now, y'all know, I'm real talk. I'm all for partnership. I'm all for if your man is down, help him. If your woman is down, help her. But this is
not that.
That's not that.
This is not that.
I'm all for saying we all have rough seasons. But that's not that. All right. It's time to go to Firestarter.
Yep.
So before we do this, let me go ahead and play this commercial real quick. This is our good friend Brandon Campbell and his conference that's coming up. So y'all support his conference. And oh, by the way, if you have something that's coming up, an event or something that you want to have promoted, then y'all come see us. You ain't off yet. She's like, hold on, take me out so I can eat my nachos. There you go, eat your nachos. So y'all support his conference. Here
Excited to be telling you about our conference, the Mind, Body, and Soul Conference featuring Jermaine Stearns and Juanita Yancey. We're going to be talking about some amazing topics at this conference, and I want you to be a part. Listen, I know COVID has been so hard on us. I just wanted to do something that was going to encourage us, that was going to help us to grow and be a better version of ourselves. So I decided to come together with my team and put together the Mind, Body, and Soul Conference. For just $19, you're going to hear some great practical wisdom on the areas of mindset, relationships, and spirituality. Listen, we can all use a tune-up in our mindsets. We can all use a little help with our relationships, and we definitely can use a little bit more strength from our spirituality. So I want you to be a part of this conference. Go ahead and click the link right now and be a part of the Mind, Body, and Soul Conference presented to you by the Christianpreneur Company.
Go ahead and get registered. Mind, body, and soul. Anyway, I'm sorry.
We got to have him back. He was a really fun guest. I enjoyed chatting with him.
Yeah, if y'all remember Brandon a couple weeks ago, y'all know it's going to be good. He's actually a very good teacher. So y'all check him out. All right. Passion Talk. Go ahead, Q.
All right. Y'all know what time it is. We switch things up a little bit. So if you tuned in early and you drop off usually in that second hour, you get a treat. Because we have Passion Talk with Firestarter on this evening. And we are discussing the thin line between confidence and pride. Did I get it? without my notes. Boom, confidence and pride with fire starter on this evening. And we think we were just talking about this earlier today. We were tiptoeing around this conversation earlier today. So I'm super excited to hear what sis has to say. How you doing, Boo? Where you at?
What's up? What's up?
Hey, girl.
Y'all see me okay?
Yep.
We got you.
Hello. Happy June, everyone. Happy June squad. Happy June nation. This is your girl, Sisley Victoria, owner and founder of Passion International. My business tree is to help train and equip people to find their voice of identity so they can stop people pleasing and be empowered, encourage confidence and communication. I'm a certified professional coach. I am a counselor as well. I'm the queen of empowerment, and I set people's lives on fire for a living, and that's why they call me the fire starter. So welcome to Passion Talk, where we give you practical tools for everyday living so you can press into your personal power. Now, Q, I know what's on your mind, getting into the nachos. And so I already heard earlier, don't even worry about it. So I won't feel less loved, okay? I will not feel less loved, okay? She gave me no intro, okay? She's like, oh yeah, that girl coming on, what's her name? Fire started. Yeah, we love her, y'all love her. Here we go, okay? It is all right. It is all right. Listen, nachos are my love language as well, all right? I'm happy to hear that you all were tiptoeing around the subject earlier. I had no clue. As you know, June in our United States is known as Pride Month, and we celebrate Pride Month, but actually I am not attributing this teaching to that community per se, but I figured, why not? How about we take a spin, okay, for the purpose of Pride on this month. So I do hope that you get a lot from it. It's loaded, and I'm going to be firing off at you. So go ahead and get your note-taking devices ready. So I'm gonna start off with a song that is a tribute to y'all. Didn't know y'all was gonna get a song tonight. It goes like this. It's a thin line between pride and confidence. Okay, I can't even get it all the way out. I am goofy, all right? So listen, pride. Pride is a high or inordinate opinion of one's own dignity, importance, merit, or superiority. I love to start with our word knowledge with our dictionary definitions, right? So we have a working definition universally as to what we're talking about, okay? So, of course, there are many different forms of pride, but the pride that we're talking about tonight is the high or inordinate. Inordinate means abnormal. Inordinate means something that, possibly should not be. So this pride is a high, inordinate opinion of one's own importance, dignity, merit, or superiority. Confidence, on the other hand, is full trust, assurance, reliability of a person or a thing. Now, it's really important that you pay attention to these definitions because they're going to mean a lot as we go through our discussion on tonight, all right? So again, confidence is full trust, assurance, reliability of a person or a thing. Now, number one, pride is self-reliant and confidence is self-aware, which is everything. Pride is self-reliant and confidence is self-aware. Many people don't slow down to know what is happening in their life sometimes, what needs to happen, what is working, what's not working, because it allows you to make decisive and dedicated decisions from an informed place. It's important for you to have self-awareness so you can make decisive and dedicated decisions from an informed place. Please pay attention to every word that I'm using because it is purposeful. It is intentionally used. So I want you to ask yourself questions, okay? And to be more self-aware, you need to ask yourself questions and to talk to yourself, even to be introspective. How many introspective people do I have out there? How many people are introspective on purpose? Like you practice awareness on your own. You're just not paying attention to what everybody else is doing, but you're paying attention to what you're doing, all right? How about you give me a hand in the chat if that is you? I hope it is. Pride doesn't accept input and goes at everything alone. So you know how many people, again, going back to the topic, is a thin line between confidence and pride because some people may attribute certain traits and say, oh, you can't take me because I'm just confident. Well, it may be so, but that confidence might have teetered onto pride. And so I'm here to explain the distinctions for you so that you can be on the lookout for them, not necessarily other people, but more so for yourself as well. So pride doesn't accept input and goes at everything alone. So if you're one of those, who are lone rangers, you make decisions in a vacuum, you don't have a life squad, or who I call a life squad is 3 to 5 trusted counselors. How many of you out there, by a show of hands, have 3 to 5 trusted counselors that you can contact and call on at any point in time to say, hey, I need you to help me sort this thing out. Hey, I need you to help me process this. Hey, I need you to help me talk through this. If you don't have that for whatever reason, there are a few things going on, which I can't get into right now. But let me just say the fire starter needs you to get that. All right. You need to have 3 to 5 trusted counselors. And for my, spiritual ones out there, I'm not talking about Father, Son, and Holy Ghost. Okay. That's great. But I'm talking about humans now. Right. The Trinity is wonderful. I have them too. But I want you to have 3 to 5 human friends, trusting counselors that you can contact and call on for any point in time. Because if you do not have that, you may be guilty of having a measure of pride within yourself for whatever reason, or you just maybe don't have good friends, which is a whole nother passion talk. All right. So pride doesn't have accountability. You do not make, life-altering decisions on your own because it can literally cost you your life. Okay. So I don't mean just metaphorically. I mean literally and physically. People have died sometimes because they have not consulted with right people before making a life-altering decision. Okay, people have, sometimes mentally lost their lives, emotionally, and sometimes physically lost their lives. So it can be very costly. Never make very important decisions in a vacuum. Confidence, on the other hand, confidence knows how to give an account for their lives. They don't have selfish ambitions, and they don't make decisions for others that could impact them harmfully without their input. Listen, if you have a family, you're accountable for people, you have a spouse, you have kids. I've never heard of a good spouse, making a decision on their own that would impact their husband or wife or children without having consulted to a degree with them. If that is occurring, that could cause a lot of danger on behalf of the family, and that's something you don't want to be responsible or said to be doing. So confidence knows how to be accountable to others. The qualifiers, if you don't have a life squad or a counsel team, as I mentioned, the qualifiers are simply this. Find people that you can trust. Find people that have earned your trust. Find people that that they love you sincerely. Okay, they've proven that. It's been tested, tried, and true. And find people that will be honest with you, even if it hurts to hear sometimes. Okay, those are the 3 simple qualifiers. You can trust them, they love you, and they're going to tell you like a TI is, even if it hurts you to hear at the time. All right, but it's something that needs to be heard. That's who qualifies for your life squad. Going on to number 2, pride. Pride stops learning. Pride has gotten all of the knowledge and education it's going to get. All right. It's probably still a millennial and thinks it knows everything there is to know. Okay. Pride is unteachable. Pride feels like they have it all together and can sometimes come across as haughty. That disposition thinks it's arrived somewhere. That disposition thinks it has achieved whatever it is to be achieved or what have you, and everyone else now has to receive the tutelage from them. It might sound something like this. Oh, you try to give them some advice. Oh, I know that already. Oh, I've done that already. Oh, I've been there too. Oh, I've been that already. Oh, I already did that. You're just doing that. I did that 10 years ago. So have you ever known someone that has just been everywhere? Have you ever known someone that just knows everybody and have done everything? Like there's nothing that they have not touched. Do you know anyone like that? Hopefully it's not you. But I mean, you can't tell them nothing, and they can't even appreciate your experience or to celebrate you because they're going to remind you how they've already done that and they've already been there. These people are incapable of celebrating in relation to you due to their own pride and their own insecurity. Really, it's insecurity speaking. what that is going on. Okay, so they try to pump and prime as if it's something more, but they do that in order to cover up the mirage that they don't really feel confident and secure about themselves. So it's really a backwards type of reality. And ergo, you should have a place of sadness and pity for these type of people, because it's really unnecessary. It's really unnecessary, and these type of people are really hard to make friends with, because they're not relatable. They're not relatable. Okay, people who feel like, you know, they have it all together, what have you, and you know, they don't make mistakes, they're not relatable, and some people can't really, you know, press into what is going on or want to befriend them, because humans are inerrant, right? Humans err. That's what makes us human. So, you know, you want to pay attention to that. Confidence, on the other hand, is committed to be a lifelong learner. It's not afraid to celebrate others because it's grown a security of their own greatness. Hear me clear. And they always remain teachable in order that growth can continue to serve people better that you're accountable for. Number 3, pride places blame on everyone else and will not take responsibility or accountability for their own shortcomings. No. Pride is going to defer and deflect, defer and deflect, defer and deflect everything on anyone else except themselves. Pride makes excuses and confidence makes improvement. I want you to write that down. Pride makes excuses and confidence makes improvement. Confidence is not afraid to confess that they missed it. You know, I messed up. They will acknowledge to see how they can improve and better, because the importance of confidence is to excel in the future, not to get it right every time. Did you hear that? The purpose of confidence is to excel progressively, not that you can get it right every time. All right. Number 4, pride will promote mediocrity. Listen here. Pride will promote mediocrity, and they don't care much about what kind of product they will put out unless they feel like it. Okay. Pride is just fine with giving you leftovers. Can you write that down? Pride is just fine with giving you leftovers. Why? Because they don't value other people. Pride values themselves, getting the best first and getting the best always, but will only give you what is left over after they've gotten theirs. Confidence will promote excellence because they value their presentation to others and they value the quality they give to other people. Okay, so that's the antithesis of what confidence will do. Number 5, pride will focus on their needs as opposed to the needs of others. Pride will always come for a withdrawal. Hear me clear. Without having made any deposits. Pride will always come for a withdrawal first, without having made any deposits. Where do they do that at, people? Where do they do that at? It's easy enough to learn from the banking community that you cannot expect to take out substance, which is money in that instance, where you have not contributed substance, which is money. No. That's called a credit card, honey. Now, a credit card, okay, although it's wonderful, it's a wonderful system when it's respected. When it's dishonored, you will still have to pay for that mismanagement, right? It's called interest. Hello, interest. Say hello, interest. Yes, you're going to have to pay for that mismanagement, okay? So still, if we learn it in the natural system, we can learn it in our relational system as well. Confidence, on the other hand, will focus on how I can be of service to others. Number 6, confidence will reject criticism or critique, likely because they have a relationship with perfectionism. So recognizing flaws is too humiliating for them. So they will just refuse it, refute it, and deny it altogether. In order to contend with this unhealthy paradigm of perfectionism, we have to displace the things that make you believe that someone, even yourself, is demanding your perfection or unrealistic expectations on you, which more than likely stems from childhood environments that did not allow the child to be comfortable with erring or what the parent deemed as failure. Okay, that's typically where a relationship with perfectionism comes from. Confidence, on the other hand, will embrace understanding and criticism, remain teachable, know that you can improve in areas, and consider the possibility. Why? Because they're secure in their identity. They don't have to make excuses, and they don't have anything to prove, and therefore they don't have to be perfect and right always. I think this is my last one. Pride is a false identity. It makes you think you owe and makes you think you can handle it all. Now, let me drive down my people pleaser street for a moment, because this is you. People pleasers may be the last to ever assume they struggle with pride, because after all, they do so many good deeds for other people, don't they? But let me tell you why you still do struggle with pride: because you please others at the expense of yourself. You lie to yourself and you say you can take it, you can make it, you don't need any help, I'm not tired, I'm not drained, I'm not exhausted, and all the while you know that you are. It's written all over your face. Yes, right there. You don't have to say a word. It's delusional, okay? You tired, you got bags under your eyes, and you won't ask for help because you have a relationship with perfectionism. Now, confidence, on the other hand, is a healthy identity that will be honest about what they do well or where they're strong, and what they don't do well and where they're weak. This person will promote another before they take on a task that doesn't belong to them or that you simply don't want to do. Confidence will delegate it and celebrate it. Confidence is due to a history and evidence of successes that you have had in a specific place, and there is fruit and consistent conquest that you can point to your account. Confidence knows their lane, in other words. So you can find your lane and where you rule and dominate, all right? And lastly, we talked about foolish fires before. Real quick, this pride is far-fetched to apologize or say when it is wrong. It's not preventative, and it's not prepared always. And we'll have a firefighter syndrome that's just going to wait to put a fire out instead of preventing the fire. While on the other hand, confidence will measure their choices and actions with wisdom, and they're preventative people. Not to say that they won't miss it, but they will do their best to always leave it better than they found it. And that takes preparation, being proactive, and plan to avoid foolish fires in your life. That's our passion talk for this evening, ladies and gentlemen. Question, comments, or concerns?
Baby, I was about to say when. Bring me back. Listen, 2-3 times I hit my button and have to go back. Like, no, let me go and let her finish floor, because I was over here having a ma'am. You did that. Yep.
Thank you, Paul.
Yep.
I appreciate you. Scoop Nation, I pray that was good for you. If there are no questions, comments, or concerns out there, thank you, Winifred. I appreciate you.
Ain't that how you do it at the church?
Listen, I missed that intro, but baby, that outro, though. You better catch that replay and take them notes.
I'm a spoken tongues over there.
The nachos, it helps you, it helps you get your.
I'm ready, okay? I'm ready.
It helps you with the shondo.
It helped me receive that word.
Yes. There you go.
I got fed literally and spiritually on this evening.
Literally and spiritually. Well, listen, y'all, I will go out on the feed, check all comments if you have any questions. Listen, we are still pursuing and doing our fire starter letter, okay, any month that we can. So I'm looking for you to be the next one to be featured on our Dear Fire Starter segment. So if you can get your letter to me at firestarterpassion@gmail.com, I want you to tell me 3 things. What is the problem, honey? What's going on? This for male and female. 2, what have you done to try to fix this issue? And 3, what are your questions? How do you think Firestarter can serve you? And you will get your complimentary, not free, complimentary co-session from moi, the best in the land. And we will go live about your topic. You don't have to go live. It can be anonymous, or you can be on the show with us. So please, firestarterpassion@gmail.com. Holler at your girl. I would love to feature you in July, if possible. And if nothing else, until next time, I want you to stay in purpose, stay in passion.
Where can people contact you? I said, where can people contact you if they want to do coaching with you?
Same email, honey. Okay, slide in my DM. Same email, firestarterpassion@gmail.com. Please like my Facebook page, Passion International, if you have not already. You can catch more of my great content on there. Cicely Victoria on Facebook. Feel free to friend me. send me and then about DM first, okay? Let me know who you are. I don't like to accept everybody, but
Yeah, go like a babe. Just go like the babe.
I would love to work with you. I would love to work with you. So that is how you can find me. And yeah, we out here doing it. Okay. So come and holler at your girl, especially if you're a people pleaser. You know who you are. All right. Self-identify. Okay. And come and holler at your girl. Until next time, I want you to stay in purpose, stay in power, stay in passion, and stay on fire. It's halftime, y'all. It's June 2021.
Yeah.
Let's go. Let's go for the round. Until next time, I'll see y'all later. Stay in purpose, stay in passion, and stay on fire. Love you. Bye.
Love you. That was good stuff.
Bye.
Wow. Yeah. Let's all take a collective deep breath on that one. Whew. That was good.
She did that. Yeah. I'm with it. I'll go back and replay and take them notes. I'll write those down.
I was like, whoo, all right.
Yeah,
that was good.
She read us on this fine Tuesday. It's okay. That was a halftime. What did she called it out to halftime? That felt like a, what is it, the pep talk they give? Yeah. Get you back in the game for the second half for the second half. All right, y'all. So we are back in the game for the second half of tonight's show. And we are discussing, well, we were talking about pride. This particular, we're not talking about pride. Let me just start that before y'all get ready to do the shock and awe for me. We're not necessarily talking about pride specifically. However, we are comparing again. Okay. Go ahead. And
we have to listen. Listen.
We are comparing again. Here we are. Okay. This is just where we're at right now. So we're just going to make the best of it. We're going to try and make this teaching moment. So, our good sis, Latavia, posted a question earlier this week where she states, society is more tolerant of men wearing dresses than they are Black women wearing bonnets. Seems like we are targets and we, Black people, join in. Seems like we, in this particular instance, sounds like, she says we Black people, but I think the way that it read to a lot of people set up like we were women, like we are targets and, Black people join in. So I'm hoping that I didn't mistake this, but it sounds like that's kind of where she was going based on the beginning of the post. So there's quite a few comparisons happening here. We're saying that the general public, society, is more willing to accept men choosing an alternative lifestyle, being gay or wearing dresses, cross-dressing, acting, whatever the case may be. You know what I mean? We're just more overall accepting of seeing men in dresses than they are of Black women wearing bonnets, which has been the very lukewarm, the room temperature tea that just refused to pour down the sink over the last week or two. We have been discussing Black women specifically wearing bonnets out in public. Monique has made a video about it, calling Black women out about it, saying, encouraging others to tap the sis on her shoulder and, remind her of herself and how all of that thing may be or whatever. Okay. So Monique has done that, got the people talking. And in every group where there is more than one or two gathered together, they're discussing damn bonnets.
This is in the midst.
Yes, it is in the midst. Okay. Everywhere. You can't escape the bonnet conversation. Okay?
Wait, hold on. Before we go forward, you skipped something.
What did I skip? Oh, I did skip it. I did skip. My bad. My bad, y'all. Okay. We got to pay these bills. So literally. So we're going to chat about real quick. Because it is the summertime and this is box braid season, it is only right that I put you guys up on the game that is our Blocked and Beautiful Braid Bomb. This particular product is different from anything that you have ever tried because it is non-tacky, non-drying, and you don't get the buildup that you often see when you remove box braids after your 6 to 8 weeks installation. That doesn't happen with this product. It is made of the good stuff. It adds shine, it adds hold, it allows you to wear these styles without fuss. You can put your hair where you want it and it stays there until you are ready to restyle. It's non-drying, The stuff right here is amazing. It is bought in mass by a couple braiders here in the city, and people buy it 3 and 4 at a time because they cannot go without it. So if you are a braider, if you've got babies, if you got locks, I retwist my hair. I retwist my locks with the Black to Beautiful Braid Balm, and I love it. So I implore you to visit elegancebydesign.com and get you some, child. Get you some. Black your hair with the Black to Beautiful Braid Balm. Thank you, Wynn. Appreciate that. Thank you.
Listen, we want all our coin around here.
All up, okay?
Around here. So, all right. All
right.
up.
So yeah, we're back at it now. So Monique made a video about the bonnets. The people are going crazy. And now we are debating if it's okay to wear bonnets, if it's not okay to wear bonnets. Why are we condoning women wearing bonnets? Why do we care that women wear bonnets? We are saying that it's respectability politics now, that we are doing the oppressor's work for them by reprimanding each other out loud and in this manner when it really doesn't matter about the bonnets. So much conversation, so many views, so many soapboxes. There's no more room for any more boxes on the podium about this issue. I don't have none for this. I do, but I don't. Like, I'm tired. The others have exhausted this subject for me as far as the bonnets specifically are concerned. And I'm in this industry, like the hair care industry. Like there's so many reasons why women would be wearing bonnets or where they would not be wearing bonnets. And we've seen them debated ad nauseum over the last few weeks. And then there are times when it could be inappropriate to wear a bonnet. I also don't know why our sis is wearing her bonnet to this inappropriate place today. You know what I mean? Like we don't know what everybody's experiences are. So I don't know. But this is, again, a comparison to men versus women and the things that are considered to be out of the norm also. And why do we keep that conversation going among us? So I'm going to pause because there's been a lot of comparisons, a lot of conversation, a lot of words already, plus an ad thrown in there. So Wynn is always really good at regrouping us. So what are your thoughts on this, Wynn?
Okay. My first thought is the idea that we are doing the oppressor's work, and to me is asinine. First of all, the oppressor ain't paying us no attention. Let's just be honest. It's not like whoever this oppressor is like, ooh, let's watch them talk about bonnets today. They're not worried about something like that. But however, I will say this. I think that what we need to do is that I'm also, let me say for this, I'm also not in the camp that says people can do whatever they want to do and we should not say anything about it. I'm not in that camp because, like I asked on the post, I am of the generation and of the group that says that representation matters. How we look matters. And I'm not, that's how I feel. I think that I'm of the group that says that there are appropriate things for appropriate places, and some stuff don't belong in some places. And I think that we've had to adjust what that is over, the changes in culture. But I still think that there are just some things that just should not be done. With that said, I'm not I'm not tapping those sisters on the shoulder. I'm not doing that. I'm gonna look at it and just go and mind my business. I don't think that rollers, that house shoes, that pajamas should be our norm, but that's my opinion. And so guess what I do with my opinion? I don't do it. And I don't like it. I definitely would be looking weird if my woman did it, looking at her like, where we going?
This is what we're doing today?
We're not going to the store like that. Let's not do that. But I just don't. I think I do think again. I think this whole idea of do whatever you want and nobody should say anything to you. I think that's dangerous for us because I think as a community we still need to be a community. Where I don't think is that I don't also think that I'm not throwing you away because you wore that blasted bonnet to the grocery store. So I think I'm not going to go to that extreme, but I don't have a problem with somebody with as a culture us saying when we go out in public, let's go out looking appropriate.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I get that appropriate is going to be different for everybody. So I think we then have to define appropriate. And I think the bonnet is just, to me, not appropriate.
Yeah. So this conversation outside of the bonnets specifically read to me as collectively, we are still very much concerned with what is outside. And I can say that owning the fact that I believe a lot like you do. I was raised very much the same way. We all in the same age range. We all, regardless if we still practice it or not, we are very familiar with the understanding that this is what you do when you go here, appropriateness. Today we call it respectability, politics or whatever, but it was absolutely what we've been raised to understand as right place, right time. You play clothes, you work clothes. You know what I mean? Like you do those things. I think with that understanding, we have to have some balance of priority, because you can still be a community without us all looking the same.
Absolutely.
Or ascribing to that same ideal as far as one particular thing. So much of why we haven't been able to create a real community is because we're so concerned with what it looks like. If we can come to an understanding as far as what ideals are, what our values are, outside of what my clothing is, what I look like. Because even if you talk about the men in dresses, when you talk about gay or the LGBTQ community, so many people say, I don't care what you do. I just don't want to see that. I just want to see that. Why you got to look like that? Why you got to show up like that? Why you got to sound like that? I don't want to see that. My kids don't need to see that. Like, we just don't want to see it a certain way. We don't want to see each other in a certain way. It does not change who that person is. We do not feel comfortable seeing something that we don't feel comfortable with. And if it's bonnets, because, I wouldn't. If it's a dress, because, he ain't supposed to. Like, we are very, very concerned. And it stops us from actually getting to know, not maybe you, because, I don't care if you got to, you know what I mean? But it does halt us from actually being able to see each other. Because we too busy just, you know what I mean? We stop at what we see. We never get past that. And that is so much of why we can't find a leader. We don't really know who we want to speak for us, even if it's a group of folks. Because as soon as they don't look like what we think it should look like, nope, that ain't gonna work. Nope, he ain't gonna do it. Nope, I can't. Oh, he's gay. Oh, she's Muslim. Like, there's so many different things that because it don't, look the way that we think it should, we out.
I can get with that. I think that's definitely something to consider. I do think that we should move beyond what it looks like, but I also don't want to discount that what it looks like does influence an outcome. And so for me, whether it's dresses, men in dresses, or women in bonnets, it's I do think that on some level it's about not giving a good some parts of it's like it's not giving a good representation of what we are. And sometimes, it is about the perception to the outside, which I don't necessarily think is completely a bad thing, because if we are in a position where we are trying to, I don't want to use the word influence other cultures, but trying to advance our culture in the midst of other cultures, then some level of visual representation of what our culture stands for is going to be present. Understanding that we're not a monolithic community, understanding that we don't have one voice, one sound, So I do think on a foundational level, we do need to decide what we want to be and what we want that to how we want to be presented or represented globally. But I think that what winds up happening is some of that doesn't get done, and that some of the voices that don't come across as I don't know, like a full representation of what we are doesn't get heard. So I don't know. I think so. I'm not completely against the visual aspect of it, but at the same time, I do recognize you're correct that there is that sometimes that in a lot of instances we're more concerned about what it visually looks like. I'm also completely with you in terms of us stopping at what it looks like instead of A, listening to what the person is really saying, B, deciding if this person, if the person's character and integrity and all of those things that have more weight are present. But I think I'm with you there too.
I think when you speak to what the representation and what we look like and how we, show up to certain things because the people are watching, I see that also. The people, there are, and I kind of disagree with you at the beginning, this where you said, I don't think the oppressor's just sitting around watching us. I do. I think that a lot of perceptions are made and shared based on the things that we give our attention to. Social media has helped aid and abet a lot of the things that have contributed to a lot of our inner chaos. And they use us to do it. Like, we don't even have to help. So not necessarily with bonnets, but I do believe that there is some type of intel happening based on how we move in this new space, this new zone. With that being said, I think this is one of those times where we can't get distracted by this one piece of conversation. Mm-hmm. We're not sending the group of sisters who wear the bonnets out to do her every day, 5 days out of 7, sisters in her bonnet and slippers. No one is electing her to go be the representative of the people. So like all this extra pressure that we putting on sis who's just trying to live her very best life, doing her thing, trying to get her groceries and do it. Why are we stressing her out so much as though we're sending her to the delegation to say this is what we all look like? When we know that it's a Bobby Sue and a Becky Jane somewhere that's matching sisters' energy, that we are not, we don't see them doing that. So again, we're comparing, you know what I mean? So like we're getting distracted saying that all of us have to present a certain way, or we can't even move because this 5 people of the 5,000 are hindering us. You know what I mean? Like, it's one of those things to look at it when you see that there's such a bigger picture than us showing up in bonnets, because we know good and damn well it's a large collective of us that will never step foot out of the house in a doggone bonnet. This is a non-conversation for a large group of people. For the fact that this continues to be discussed the way that it is, we know that there's not going to be a mass influx of bonnets showing up in corporate America and banks and like in law offices. Bonnets aren't going to show up. I just don't see that happening. I'm sorry. I just don't. The day that happens, I will stand corrected and say, well, all righty, damn then, but if that's the case and it's shifted to that degree, then that means it's shifted not just for us. This is now recognized other places. Like, you know what I mean? We've been trendsetters and movers because bonnets ain't stopping nothing from really happening. Like, what is the bonnet stopping? Does it make you dumber? Does it make your words come out slower? Do you magically lose the ability to count because you got a bonnet on? Do you have some super hood energy that just bestows over you when you put your bonnet on? Like, there's all kinds of different.
I don't think it affects that. I think it is So I think on the one hand, it is the perception of what it is. It is the I use the word, the pride, the communal pride that we are saying that we're losing if we don't do the necessary things to look our best in public. And I think that's what that particular thing is coming at. Again, not suggesting it's right or wrong. I'm suggesting that I think that is what I would put that in the same category as wearing our best to work, wearing our best to church, going out. I think it's in all of those same types of, same thing with school. Except the pressure, so no pun. So again, I think that again, I'm not suggesting that we should or should not wear bonnets. I've said what I think, but I just don't think that. I think that we have to look at it and say, I don't know. Like, to me, it just goes back to, what does this say? What is this?
Bonnets give the perception of rest, and we don't like Black women resting. Bonnets give the perception of, I'm not yet ready, I'm not prepared, I'm resting. So if I'm outside, you should not be outside resting. Bonnets is chill. That's chill. I'm downtiming.
I think bonnets give the perception of lazy. That's what it is.
But lazy is one of those other words that have been used for lazy is what? Does lazy, I could be lazy on a Saturday. I ain't doing nothing today. I'm resting. I'm lazy today. Lazy is another one of those words that have been used when we take our rest. If I'm at the I'm not working right now. I'm not showing up. I'm not, now again, this is just women who are just trying to live. Like, I'm resting. Who am I showing up for? I am representing me, myself, and I. I'm not for the Black people. I'm not for all the sisters. I'm just showing up as me. I'm resting.
And right, you just said right there, that's what I'm saying. I don't think that people agree with that. I don't think that there is a such thing as us as a collective ever being in a position where we don't represent everybody.
Well, we need to deal with that because that's unhealthy.
That right there is the crux of it, is that when we do anything, which is why I asked the question, what does representation mean? Is that a thing that we need to move away from? Because we're saying that anywhere a Black man or woman is, whether it's in a dress or whether it's in a bonnet, you are speaking for what the entire race means. Just like when you are the only Black woman at your all white job, sitting in that room, whatever you do, whatever you say, represents the entire Black race. Just like this coming Sunday, when I am the only Black man standing in an all white pulpit, I represent the entirety of the Black race. And so this is the pressure that we as a people live into, and that we have to decide, either we're going to give ourselves the space to rest and to be lazy, and or are we now saying, no, this is unacceptable, and we need to give people the space to say, you can be lazy, you can wear your bonnet, you can do your thing, and that doesn't mean anything less about our community. That's the shift. And that's I think, to me, ultimately, that is the question on the table. What does our representation, what does that mean? What does our presence now mean? Does it mean we no longer have to show up in spaces and carry the weight of everybody?
I think that's the argument we need to have, not necessarily boxing what it looks like. Again, we're still boxing what it looks like. I think the argument that we need to have is, why are we campaigning and condoning the fact that we still carry the viewpoint for everyone else? I would much rather us all get together and say, you know what? We don't give a damn about the bonnet. Like, why? Why do we care so much about the bonnet? You know what I'm saying? Like, that is, I personally don't understand why. We can see how unhealthy it is for us to continue to carry all of this pressure of having to be on, to perform, to put on the different.
To code switch, to have to show up.
To do all of that. Like, this is soul switching that we're doing. We don't have a way where do we rest? Like, that's what I was like, I don't know. When do we rest? And why are we arguing with each other about not allowing ourselves rest? That's really what I hear when I hear people say, leave folks alone with their bonnet. I don't care about you being in your bonnet. Like, that's not going to, I'm not bothered by the bonnet. Do you is what I hear when I say that. I'm going to let you live. We got enough stuff going on where bonnets are not the priority. I would much rather us fight to stop carrying your weight and her weight and her, because you know what? I don't carry her weight. I don't know why today of all days sis decided to walk out of the house in the bonnet and her house shoes. I don't know. I can't identify with that. So why am I expected to carry her weight? Why are you expected to carry his weight? Why? That's what I say we fight for. Let's argue about that. And I don't want to carry your weight. I'm doing the piss poor job 3 days out of 7 carrying my own. You know what I mean? So like, let's stop this. This is silly to me.
Which speaks to the bigger context of, again, and I'm just as we're talking through this, I'm all of this is
me too. I don't know if you can tell, but me too.
It's like, okay, it's connecting. So I think, Shanae said something in the comments on the post, in the original post, where she said she felt like if this was coming from somebody else, like, and she used Cicely Tyson, that this whole conversation this time around would have been totally different. And I somewhat agree with that. I actually agree with that, because I think that when we see someone like her saying it, it comes with the spirit of the weight of her experience through life to say, we're trying to carry an experience of Black America further. And so I think really, again, I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't listen to what Monique says. So I don't know. I don't even know what she said. I don't. But I am
on brand though.
I am assuming probably.
The synopsis says.
I am assuming that is the underlying root of this discussion in general, and maybe that's the perspective that we need to look through. And is she right? Even really, is she right to demand us, Lord Jesus, I'm gonna say this out loud, to demand us to move forward in a specific way that they had to move forward in the cultural time that they were in? Because I can, like, I don't know if I don't know the right answer to that question, but I'm assuming that if I were a Cicely Tyson growing up in the early 1900s, early to mid 1900s, that is a different way that I would need to show up as to in 2021. I think
it is. It absolutely is. This conversation proves that it is. We know that it is. It's interesting to me when we have, because like this is one of those things where we talk about we have to weigh the words of our elders with the energy of the youth. You know what I'm saying? And the new ideas and the creativity and openness of the youth, because that is why I think our age range specifically, the young kids have no confusion about this. You know what I mean? And from one extreme to the other, there's no confusion about this subject one way or the other. For those of us in the middle who are hybrid, so to speak, as far as this new freedom realm that we're walking into versus how we were raised, based on how our parents were raised and the lives that their parents had, we are in a place where we are holding on very, very tightly to something that is going to shift. We, in a way, can only guide, we can influence to a certain degree, which is what I think Monique was doing. But in a way, she is almost out of the spectrum of not just for how we may personally feel about her. She is moving away from further and further away from the needle of being in tune of what's happening. She is getting closer and closer to the okay, we appreciate that.
Go on, lady. Lady.
Yep. And it may suck to say that, but eventually it's going to happen for us too. Our opinions will just be that. It won't really influence anything. So like this whole conversation, that's why I'm like, this almost feels like a distraction, because the people who in just a hot minute are going to be doing some things do not give no damns about these bonnets. Like they have already got an understanding about the bonnets, and they see that as some old school silly stuff, because they understand, they know when to wear a bonnet and when not to wear a bonnet, like when it really should. No, let me not say that. I think that we put our conversation better into a more appropriate size that can be better digested. The kids would be much more willing to understand where we're coming from. How we are going about this conversation is going to do just like when old girl brings in the boy that you can't stand and you don't want nothing to do with it, and you show out and now that's her only love and the only one she want to be with. It's going to be bonnets in every color with every outfit. They're going to match the shoes. They're going to have little ornaments hanging from them. We're going to be bedazzling bonnets. Like all of the things are going to happen. 2022 fall review for the school fashion, bonnets everywhere, because we are having this totally disconnected conversation based on someone who nobody listens to anyway. You know what I mean? Bringing up oldish. So now the young kids are looking at us like, oh, the old people are fighting again. Yeah. Oh, they're at it again.
I do wonder though if just because we were proud. I think we were in that space at one point too, where like they just they don't know what they're talking about. Like if we should, like if our role in this conversation, let's use this conversation, should be to okay, let's really talk about what this is really about. Like I don't think we do enough of that, because I agree with you that we will spend, y'all, not me, because I don't get to. You see, I'm gonna use this conversation to talk about something else. But you know what I mean, like, are we going to really spend our energy talking about a flipping bonnet? Yeah, because
I have 2 daughters. We've talked about bonnets. They in bonnets right now. Like they live in bonnets. I have to tell them, take the damn, like I'm the mother that tells them, take the damn bonnet off your head. You know what I mean? I am telling them that, but that is how I was raised. And I also am preparing them to be able to navigate in a world that does still have mixed feelings in general, and that will take what they see, you know what I mean? And they will judge you on that. So until we move into a new dawn where it no longer matters if you got a bonnet or a bow or you wearing a fedora or whatever, you know what I mean? This is how you're going to have to move and shake amongst these folks. You know what I mean? This is how this is going to be. That is a survival tactic that I'm teaching. But at the end of the day, they know that it matters not about the bonnet. Like it's not about the bonnet. But until then, this is how we move, you know? And that's just, I just think that's smart. I think that is setting your kids up for success. But we have these conversations about why, you know, we talk about rest. We talk, you know, the difference in rest and lazy and, you know, all those different things. Like I'm fine with you chilling. I'm not super dressing up to go do regular old stuff just because it might be some folks here that expect me to look a certain way. Y'all gonna have to get whatever I show up in today. Okay. Like, you know what I mean? And I love that. I'm proud of that I now feel like I have the agency to be able to say, no, I don't feel like that today. You know what I mean? When they say we got a business casual wardrobe, I can show up in business casual. I don't still have to wear my slacks and my blazer and my button up because we got to show up and do. Listen, the policy say business casual, you're going to get this business casual. You know what I mean? Like, and that's okay.
You see my suitcase right now. They talk about business casual. I'm like,
say less.
I'm wearing.
Say less.
Nah, I'm wearing. Listen, I got some shorts, and it's 95 degrees outside. I'm not about to be outside in those slacks and buttoned-up shirt with a tie, because I have to represent all of Black America in this space. So I get that. But I also get what that means when I do that, though. And I think when I decide to not show up in the space and feel the need to represent all of them.
Oh, they mad?
I know what that means, and I think that's something that we have to come to. We got to be okay with. Like that could possibly, that would in a previous, like in my banking life, could have been and was at certain times the difference between, you know, promotion and not promotion, or because the person who's making that decision sees me as the ghetto Black dude, or, you know what I mean? Like, all right, that's fine. But we have to, like you said, understand, teach each other what this means in their space. Yeah. Not to say you can or can't do it, but in their space, this is how they could potentially look at what we're doing, and we have to be okay with that.
Yeah, I just got a thought. It was initially going to be funny, but it transformed just that fast into a moment. I was thinking to myself, I said, you know how many of our good clothes we waste showing up to regular stuff? You know what I mean? Like how much of our super best that we end up wasting and using and wearing down, trying to regular old stuff that everybody gets to wear their regular clothes to. And then I think we also criticize the Black folks for being the ones who spend the most money to look a certain way, to live outside of their means, to show, you know, to present a certain way. But that has been the expectation. We don't provide the opportunities to present a certain way, but the expectation is for us to show up a certain way. Like we always have to look good. And it's not necessarily because we just like being fly. you know what I mean? Like that.
Don't do it. Like I said, what's funny, like at least in my experience, they don't do that.
That's the thing. But we get talked about like we're just this irresponsible.
Look, Josh came to work, and it was that kid that got work in the same 3 pair of khakis, in the same button-down shirt.
Yep.
And I'm in here in French cuffs, suited, and he like, "What's wrong? What you doing?" So yeah, I mean, I hear you. I hear you. I gotta think about this some more.
Yeah, I just want us to start, if anything from this conversation, let's not get caught up on bonnets. I just really want us to start to take a look at, without all of the rhetoric that's attached to these the oppressor conversations, and we attach everything back to what was and all of that. Like, y'all, that's not really there's so much of how we feel is right and acceptable and okay, and just our way of moving has been is attached to the very things that we're trying to break away from. You know what I mean? The whole circulation of the black dollar, the way that we are allowed to be, we're not a monolith. We've got all of these different, like, we are fighting for freedom at the same time fighting for the box. You know what I mean? Like, do we want to be free and trust ourselves to have enough understanding to be able to govern ourselves accordingly? Because it keeps sounding like we must have rules for everything with no deviation. As soon as you opt out of this, then now you are in violation of the community. Whereas we won't, who's going to know what's on the other side of things? Who's going to be our adventurers? Who's going to be the explorers? Who are going to be the people that are continue to move us forward if we're all so comfortable right here in the boxes?
Yeah.
If this is all we ever know, how are we going to know what forward even looks like? That's why I'm like, Monique can't tell us what forward is. What Monique know about our new forward?
I'm gonna say that I agree with that. I also have to say, I think we also have to be honorable that the people who the person who usually goes first usually gets shot first too. So we just have, I mean, it's just a part of progress. But
they do.
If that's what you want to do, again, own what comes with the move that you're making. The other part I want to say real quick, because I only got 7 minutes, is I would love for us, I can't use that word, to stop with the foolish comparison. I think this is another foolish comparison. I'm just going to be honest with you.
It is.
The men in dresses versus women. Like, to me, that's not even, like, this is not, I know it feels like it a lot of days, but y'all, we really are not. Black women and black men are really not fighting each other like this. We're not. Like, I think we just we gotta just look. Black women are not the enemy of black men and vice versa. Black men are not the enemy of black women. We all trying to figure this thing out together. And instead, and I would be okay with somebody saying, this is what this feels like to me. And then us being able to say, no, that's A, that's not the same, and B, this is not what I'm intending. But now we have set up a space where anytime anyone from the opposite side says something or calls us to do something different or what we would consider better, now it's you hate me, or you just don't want me to do what. That's not the case, y'all. Like, by and large, as a culture, we are really out here trying to love each other better, and we just sit up here like we just defensive, and we're angry, and we're not even giving each other like the opportunity to say something wrong, and then have the conversation to go, okay, you know what, I was actually wrong. It's just like
to reflect. We're just reacting.
You hate all black women. You hate all black men. No,
I didn't like that.
No, I just
that thing.
Like, I mean, it's okay to just. I mean, like, I'm literally okay with the man saying, I just don't like women wearing bonnets in public. I just don't like it. And going, that's fine that you don't like it, but this is what some of them gonna do. And you just gonna have to be okay with
and be okay with it. Exactly. Like, why is this even a conversation like that? Yep.
She's not valued any less. He's not valued any less because they made the determination to wear a bonnet, or he chooses to wear really skin tight pants that look, in my opinion, look really weird. But that's his blood
choice.
That's his blood circulation, not mine.
Yeah.
So I just needed to throw that out there. We're not fighting.
No.
We
could be so much better if we stop. If the defense has to, like, it's an understanding. We get it. Like, I get it. I know why it's there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's been kind of rough. It's been some rough times, and it's made it hard to highlight the good stuff. You know what I mean? The stuff that because it's all worth fighting for. You know what I mean? It's all worth fighting for. But right now, and maybe it's because this is the type of work that we do. These are the types of conversations that we have, because there's probably a segment of folks that are footloose and fancy free and oblivious to all of the debates and back and forth and all of that. You know, the folks that are out here not concerned about it, they may not wonder. But the folks who are in these groups and in these forums and on the internet and, you know, now here pretty soon in the coffee shops and having these conversations and, you know, the thinkers and all of that. Like, we have got to find some middle ground to just, you know what I mean? Because
I think
we're not the enemy. We're not each other's enemy.
As I've been processing all this, I think the middle ground is to come to a realization that that what I think has a lot more to do with a preference more than a rule.
Yes.
I have preferences, and those are okay, but this is not the rule for our entire community. I do think that we should have some rules, but I think our rules should be more on the lines of, you know, how we treat one another, how we, you know, give each other space to grow, not
preference-based. Preference-based, yeah.
Not whether you like ice versus Bobos. So, you know what I mean? Like, this is just dumb stuff. Or, you know,
rules should reflect real life that have real life consequences. If this is something that next week or when the trend changes, you gonna change with it, shut up. Like, I don't care. Have fun with that. See you next season.
It's just not my thing. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And let that be okay. Yes.
It's my thing.
It's not
and we could talk rigorously while it's not my thing. But I think that, to me, it's how we deal with one another when we don't agree. I don't agree with you, so I'm gonna cancel you. I don't agree with it. By the way, let me say, if y'all try to cancel Destiny's Child for Cater to You, I'm coming for you. No, I'm kidding.
I'm not canceling her.
Like,
them. None of it.
No, anyway. But like, how we treat it is the problem. I think, like, again, we could have differences. But, you know, I go use the example, my closest friends, we argue rigorously about not dumb stuff, but anything. A whole knockdown drag out today about Kevin Samuels, by the way. But that's just,
I can imagine in that group.
But at the end of the day, it's like, all right, man, I'll let you. Like, I'm not going to treat them any different. We're not going to treat them different because we care. We care for one another, and our differences are just that. They're, at the end of the day, it's, well, that's just Winfred. That's my dude. I love him. That's just, you know, and that's at the end of the day, the result. How, you know what? That's just my sister, and guess what? That's just how she is and how she feel about that. But guess what? She mine, and I dare you.
Yep.
Yep. Like, let's break.
And see, right now we're daring each other. We are fighting each other about each other, and that's the thing. It makes it easier for other things to fight us because we're too busy fighting each other.
Right.
Absolutely. So, like, if our game plan is to win, we got to get back in the game because we're sucking at this one right now. Like, we're losing this one. It's not helping anything.
You're absolutely right. We'll support a black business unless we like the owner. Yep. If we don't like the owner, we won't support the business, which on some level I get, but not really. Not really. Like, I don't know them, but this is a black business. Let me go help. Let me go support them.
They got what I need. You're going to get these coins. We might not have a whole lot of conversation about it, but you're going to get my coins.
Let me share your post. Let everybody know what you're doing. It to me, it's just that simple. Like, I am going to cheerlead for everybody that looks like me until you show me you ain't for me. Then I'm gonna have a conversation with you, and then after that, even then, even then, like we were talking before, I'm just not gonna talk. I'm just gonna move you to the side. Like, I don't.
That's not something we deal with.
I'm not bashing McDonald's every time they make a mistake on my order. You know what I mean? So why am I gonna go out of my way to make you look bad? So I'm just not gonna say nothing.
Yeah. We've made ourselves consumer crusaders. I'm gonna hold on to that one. I will hear that again. Like, we have one bad experience and we have to carbon print it for everyone else and make sure that everyone knows it. And every time you mention it, it could be tomorrow, it could be 10 days from now, it could be 10 months from now. Every time somebody talks about their business, you got to rehash that one time you had a bad experience and didn't say nothing to nobody. And now nobody should ever spend coins with them again because that was their bad experience.
Yep. We're going to do better. We're going to do better.
We have to.
No, Cicely, you will never see me in skinny jeans. Never going to happen. Not going to have me out here looking.
No, I don't see that happening.
Not going to happen. Listen, I'll tell you what, when I get my 6-pack, now, you know what? When I get my 6-pack, I just might, because then I got to wear the tight the tight shirts. So I might have
When? No.
I can't wear tight shirts then? Listen.
Let me find out.
You gonna see it because I'm gonna do it in the pulpit, just like I do with the shirts.
Sir.
You gonna wear tight shirts in the. I guess not. All right.
I wish we had another topic to go to. I can say next topic.
All right, wrap it up. It's time to go. We getting silly now. Let's go.
Right. Sister said we would have a private cut. Right. I'm like, no, we're not gonna talk about it. Mama said, listen, thank you, Mom. Thank you. No.
Y'all go get my mama in there to help you.
Mama ain't saying nothing the whole show. We start talking about skinny leg. Simple. No, I got you. Listen, I'm right there with you. You have my full support. We didn't even know she was watching. You probably didn't even know she had clicked in.
Oh, wow.
I love it. Oh, man.
Go ahead. What's your final words?
Oh, Lord ever. That was good. That was the perfect end for this show right there. Y'all, I really, really, really want you all to enjoy these next 7 days. If you have time, get out and enjoy this weather here in Oklahoma City. It's going to be hot, but it's been gray and rainy. So, like, put your shorts on and your tank tops and your flip-flops and go out and enjoy some of this good weather that we're getting ready to get. Happy Pride Month to everybody. Whoop, whoop. Happy Pride Month. Find some activities, get involved, supports, learn something, do the work so that you can do more than just party, but you can also really, really be out here educating folks and doing the work. So yeah, have a really great week. Elegance by Design is releasing a new product on Sunday. The Revive and Shine Hair and Scalp Balm. It's about to change your life. We're not doing grease no more. We have elevated our hair care. There's no more blue magic. Shout out to our roots. However, we are now loving our scalps with the good stuff. So keep your eyes open for the Revive and Shine.
I was just looking at numbers. So 14,000 views
for
last week before last show.
You said 14K, not 1,400.
14,000.
Ha! Y'all better come on. Shout out to the replays and the live views and the shares.
Earlier I looked and it said 13. I was like, okay, now for 13.5. 14,000.
Y'all bet. We appreciate you so much.
Absolutely.
Y'all like us a little bit, huh? Y'all like us a little bit.
Shout out to our brothers and sisters in South Africa. Y'all came through. Okay. Not bad. All right. Okay.
See, that's community. You see that? That's community. Y'all better come support us. Come in this room.
Liberal Kansas came through. Okay. All right. So yeah, keep it up. Thank y'all. We really appreciate it. All right. I don't have anything else. Of course, like I said earlier, if you would like to advertise with us, please do see me. If you want to advertise, get your business, your service on the show. Also, we didn't do this earlier. Shout out to Kels, Bob Shamrock. If you are in Oklahoma City and you need to get when you need to get some gas, fill up your gas tank, go over to Bob Shamrock, which is owned by Kels. It's at 2901 Northwest 10th Street. They also have fish and chicken, so you can pull up and fill up your gas tank as well as your
barbecue too. Now I think they have barbecue at it.
And barbecue as well. So y'all go and get that. 2901 Northwest 10th Street, which is across from the fairgrounds. So y'all do that. As Q said earlier, again, if you're not following us on all of our social media, please do that. So you can follow us again on YouTube at The Scoop Show, on Facebook at Real Scoop Show, and on Instagram at Scoop Radio Show. Last but not least, a couple more. They only got, I don't even think it's in here. But anyway, my book. Yeah, y'all only got 4 weeks to get the pre-order of my book, How to Survive Relationship Storms. It'll be rolling out any day. So if you did do a pre-order of that, then it's coming. It's coming. I say that, but the official release date is July 27th. So you will have it before that. And yes, Cicely, I will. So then once again, if you want to be a part of the Firestarter letter, then you need to email Cicely at firestarterpassion@gmail.com. She needs to know 3 things. What is your situation? What have you already done? And how would you like her to help, or what questions do you have about the situation? So, and then of course, if you want to do any coaching with her, you can email her at firestarterpassion@gmail.com as well, or go to her Facebook page and inbox her. I think I got everything. Did I get everything?
I think you did too.
I think I got everything. All right. Good show. Thank y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all for y'all comments. Really good show tonight. Yeah. Really good show. What?
Do the Dear Firestarter announcement, please, sir.
I did already.
Oh, you did it during this part? Or ending?
Yeah.
Oh, I missed it. Sorry.
I just did.
I just read it and I thought I missed it. I didn't hear it. I apologize.
Look, you got me thinking, did I do it?
I'm sorry. I just didn't think I heard it. My bad.
Look, I'm getting old.
She gonna tell you if you missed it.
In my mind, I just did it. Did I do it already?
You could have. Don't pay me no attention. You know I'm sleepy. Yeah, you did it. She got you. She said she confirmed. You good.
I want no trouble.
Right.
I don't have no problems in my life. I told somebody that said one woman mad at me is enough. I'm good.
Straight up.
You could just give it, I should just spend it while you standing here. But you say you're with me.
Wow. Janae said, you just finished. My bad. Talk about a zone out. Like, hard shut down.
Yeah, that's what I'm like. Good night, Mama.
Good night.
If this is goodbye, I want one last try. You just can't give up. Can't you see the tears in my eyes? 'Cause I'm gonna try. Baby, I'll treat you right. Just give me one more shot. If this is
Good night, y'all. Yes, with my bonnet, Cicely. I'm going to put it right on. It's black satin.